I'm LeAnn Angerman with the Lake County Board of Elections and Registration, and I'm here to introduce you to the new setup for our voting machines. These will be used in early voting as well as on election day out in our precincts. You'll first of all notice that it's a new setup. It's a larger setup because we have both the voting machine and our new VVPAT, which I'll explain in just a minute. Information for early voting, including times, locations, can be found on our website, as well as sample ballots at lakecountyin.org. On election day, you need to vote in your precinct. Early voting is open to everyone at all locations, so you can go into any location in the county and your ballot can be accessed for you. But on election day, you must vote in your precinct. So you can go to indianavoters.com through the Indiana Secretary of State's office for precinct information, polling locations, information like that. Check on your voter registration status or even check the status of an absentee ballot. But I want to start by talking about our VVPAT. The VVPAT has been in use in early voting for a few years now. We were a pilot county for that program, and it is now required by law to be used on all machines. So we'll be using it. This will be the first time everyone in the precincts will see it on election day. It's the voter verifiable paper audit trail. So that's a new layer of transparency that we're adding, and it's part of our paper backup system. It's a tremendous help when it comes to election integrity. It does not record the voter's name. It is required by law, and it's designed to show voters what their selections are prior to hitting the cast vote button. So that's a very important piece. One of the things that I would caution people on is take your time. Take your time when you're voting. Your vote, however it is you choose to vote, is very important. So when you're going through the voting machine, take your time, look at your selections, and then in the end we're going to verify the vote, and it's going to print out in the VVPAT. But it only helps if you actually observe that. So take a look at it and make sure that your votes are exactly what you intended for them to be. If it is not, feel free to review and go back through your ballot. We'll go through a little bit more of that later. Or signal, for help from one of the workers, and they can give you some help from outside the voting booth if they haven't already done paperwork to be with you. It's also used as a second set of data. So we can now do a comparative analysis for the first time. That's a post-election audit, and we did participate in one in 2023, in which we compared votes on 3 races: the first congressional race, Secretary of State, and Lake County Sheriff. So what it did is it compared the votes on the voting machine to what the voters were verifying on the paper, and they were absolutely every time a 100% match. So it was affirming what we already knew. But I'm so proud to say that that's not just here in Lake County, but every post-election audit that they've done has yielded the same result. So we know that here in Indiana, your elections, your votes are being counted as cast, and that you're well aware of how they're being counted before you hit the cast vote button. So make sure that you utilize this. It's a tremendous asset. We're really proud to have it. For straight party voting, we want to make sure that everyone realizes that it's an option for you. It is not a requirement. You can vote what they call a split ticket for individual candidates, pick whatever candidates you would like, or you can vote straight party. Understand that your vote is anonymous. It's between you and the voting machine, and that's it. No one knows how you vote. I promise you we can't tell even in the office. We just tally the results at the end. If you are using straight party, just a little caution to be aware of, a few notes here. There are some things that straight party does not apply to, like the nonpartisan school board races, the public question, judicial retentions. You will have to make those selections individually, so if you do choose straight party, you're going to want to still tab through the rest of the ballot to make sure that you have made all the selections that you would like. Understand that if you choose straight party and then you choose another candidate outside of that party later on in the ballot, that it will unselect your straight party option. Please be careful when you're making your selections. If you tap it once, it will select the candidate or question, the answer to your question. If you select it twice, if you tap that button twice, it will unselect it. So please be very careful. Take your time when voting and make sure that you're getting the selections that you want. You will see the X will appear next to the candidate's name or the yes/no question. So make sure that it's casting for the selections that you want. Okay, let's go ahead and vote on our machine. So I already have a ballot up that we're going to use, and it's going to start with the public question. So we're just going to select our answer for the public question. I can see the X has been illuminated next to my choice. Remember, this is not a touch screen. This is not an iPhone or an iPad. Touching the screen doesn't make your selection for you. You have to touch the dark gray buttons on the side of the machine. So we're going to go ahead and make that selection and then hit next page. And then we have the straight party options that you could choose. If you would like to, there's also all the candidates are listed. You will notice when you hit straight party that it selects your candidates of that party. So you can look at those. Remember, be cautious. When you've hit straight party and it has selected your candidate, if you hit that button again, it deselects it. So make sure that once that X is on there that you're not taking it off unless you intend for it to be taken off. So we'll hit next page. We have our selections from the straight party vote already coming through. We'll hit next page again. If we have school board candidates, they would not be affected, so we'd make sure to choose those. And then we have our judicial retentions that you can vote on. So we're just selecting sort of randomly here votes. At the end, you're going to see in the lower right corner of the screen, verify vote. And we're going to press that button, and I want you to watch for the VVPAT. It's going to print your selections out for you, and this is where the voter gets to verify that their vote is being cast the way they want it to be cast. This is something that comes with this system that I don't think is really utilized anywhere else, and that's why I love this system so much. So we're going to hit verify vote. And it has printed my selections into the window. So I'm going to look at those, make sure that they reflect everything that I want them to reflect. You know, take a good look at them. And then we're going to go ahead and we have the ability to approve the vote. So I'm going to go ahead and click approve. I was approving that first page. It's going to give me now the second page. So my public question or my judicial retentions are now showing up. You see the two lights above the cast vote button are now illuminated, and I'm ready to hit cast vote if I agree with everything I've seen on the VVPAT. If you do not agree with everything you've seen on the VVPAT, you can review your ballot. We do have instructions in the voting booths. So this walks you through the VVPAT over here on the side and down here at the bottom, as well as just some general instructions. So be sure to take a look at that. If you need help, signal to one of the workers that you need help. If you haven't filled out a request for assistance or an affidavit of assistance beforehand, they will be able to approach the booth and give you instructions from the outside. But once you are ready to cast your vote and that your VVPAT agrees with what you have on your screen and what you intend for your vote to be, hit cast vote. You'll hear the beep on it. You can then proceed out. Thank you for voting. Thanks for taking time to watch the video. We appreciate you. We love sharing our knowledge and making this a fun, safe, and transparent election. So thank you. Get out and vote.